everybody, this is D Hunter bringing another action figure review. Today we're going to look at the Jazwares Fortnite Legendary Series Rust Lord action figure. This guy is from the third assortment of Jazwares 6-inch scale Fortnite figures. I had heard these were at Walmart, hit up a couple Walmarts a couple days ago, and I noticed one of the Walmarts had completely empty peg, so I knew they'd be restocking soon. Went ahead to hit up that Walmart today and had success with all the new Fortnite figures I was looking for. So let's go ahead and check out the packaging here. As you can see, Epic Games, Fortnite, Legendary Series. That means that these are 6-inch figures, not the 4-inch kind. Looks like he comes with quite a bit of stuff. Rust Lord here has the sawtooth pickaxe in the middle. He's got the rust bucket black back bling here. He's got a big potion here. He's got a smoke grenade. I believe that was something around Season 5. Shadow bomb. He's got a mushroom, which gives you 5 shields. He's got a scoped magnum weapon and a pump shotgun. Rust Lord here. You can see the package is a little bit beat up. It's all good. I'm definitely opening this, so I'm not concerned about it. 8 pieces, 38 points of articulation. Side here, you got Rust Lord post up. Other side, same thing. The back here, Rust Lord in the middle. Plus some more stuff from Series 3, Raven, Leviathan, who's actually Series 2, Peely, Molten Battlehound. That's all Series 3 that I'm aware of so far, except for the black and white Skull Trooper variant as well. And then they got DJ Yonder back here, which is also part of Series 2. At the bottom, there's a barcode in case anyone needs it, and a bunch of credits. So with no further ado, let's open this guy up. And this figure was just one of many from a big Fortnite haul today. Between hitting one Target, one Walmart, I got everything I'm looking for, and I'm now fully caught up on the line. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. And he does come with a pickaxe, back bling, pump shotgun, scoped revolver, a shadow bomb, a mushroom, and a 50 pot or big shield. So I got a buddy of mine in real life. We play Fortnite together. He goes by DD. This is a skin he always uses, so whenever I see this, I immediately think of him. It's an old school skin. You can see at the front here, he's got his helmet with spikes on it. Little metal part of the front with holes. I don't know, breathing holes maybe. He's got a little blue scarf here. Brown or orange jacket. Sash around there. He's got the typical sash on his arm, just like a lot of the Fortnite figures have. Got some stuff going on in the back there. Little pouch on the side. Another pouch on that side. He's got green camo colored pants, some armor on his shins. Overall, it's a pretty good looking figure, or a pretty good looking skin. So like I said before, I got a buddy of mine that plays this, so later in the video, gonna have kind of an inside joke, little scene for him. So next, let's check out his accessories, starting with his back bling. So here's his back bling. This thing is called the Rust Bucket, which is quite appropriate because this guy's the Rust Lord. This was a back bling that was actually for free in the item shop during April of 2018, and it was for free as compensation for extended server downtime, which is kind of humorous in itself. The Rust Bucket is some sort of generator-like contraption. It has license plate on the side and all kind of screws and pipes and bullets and random little switches and knobs on it. But I must say, I don't think Jazwares did a good job on this at all. They made 3 or 4 different colors and really left out the details. I mean, here are some bullets here and you can really barely tell. This thing was painted red in the game. The license plate says 022972. Not sure what the relevance of that is, but it's actually backwards on this back bling compared to how it is in the game. Just the detailing, the sculpt is there, but it could be repainted to look a whole lot better. It does have a peg on the back, which inserts into a peg hole, allowing the figure to hold this back bling. Here he is wearing his back bling. You can't really tell from the front, but if you spin him around, and here's his back bling next to all the other back blings released by Jazwares for their Legendary Series. And here are all the different back blings released by both Jazwares and McFarlane Fortnite figures. Unfortunately, these backblings are not interchangeable between the two lines, as the thickness on the peg does not allow for that. Here are several different Jazwares figures wearing each other's backblings, showing that they are interchangeable, at least between the Jazwares figures. And like I said before, unfortunately the backblings are not interchangeable between the two lines. They do connect the same way with a peg into a peg hole in their back. But if you take the two different backblings from Jazwares McFarlane, the thickness of the peg is different. So if you were to take a Jazwares backbling and try to put it into a McFarlane figure, it just would not fit no matter how hard you try. And in turn, if you were to take a Jazwares figure and put the McFarlane backbling into him, it will fit, but it'll just fall right out because it's so thin. So here's his pickaxe. This thing is called the Sawtooth. It has some sort of jagged pieces on the top there, hence the name Sawtooth. Little design on the top here. Little blade at the bottom, little wrap on there. Now the handle itself is kind of rectangle shaped, a lot of straight edges, and has little notches here where his hand can hold it with ease. And here he is holding his pickaxe. As he's walking next to this building, he hears a noise. Just to chop through the brick and figure out what it is. And so not only did he chop through the wall, but he gained some brick and found out what the noise was. There's a chest inside. And it looks like inside of this chest he got a suppressed SMG, a med kit, and some grenades. And here are all the different pickaxes that have been released by Jazwares for their Legendary Series. And here are all the different pickaxes released by both Jazwares and McFarlane Toys for their Fortnite figures. And I'm happy to say these are interchangeable between both lines. Here are several different Jazwares figures holding each other's pickaxes, showing you they're interchangeable between the Jazwares line. And here are some Jazwares figures holding McFarlane pickaxes, and some McFarlane figures holding Jazwares pickaxes, showing you that they are interchangeable between both lines. Next, I'll check out his guns. He comes with both a pump shotgun and a scoped revolver. This is the first time the pump shotgun has been released for either the Jazwares or the McFarlane line. Peely also came with a pump shotgun, but he's in the same wave here, so they're released at the same time. Considering this is such a common weapon and it's been around since the beginning, I'm surprised they haven't released one yet. And honestly, I don't really like the way it looks. I think it looks pretty bad. This one here. And the scoped revolver in the game, something I really wasn't too fond of. It's kind of like a sniper to a point, but a little bit weak. Here are all the different shotguns that have been released by both Jazwares and McFarlane. The first two on the left is a pump shotgun and a tac shotgun, both by Jazwares. The next four are all from McFarlane. The second column has a double barrel shotgun and a tac. And then the last row is a legendary pump and a heavy shotgun. And then here's this scope revolver next to all the different various pistols that both Jazwares and McFarlane has made. These first two columns here are both Jazwares. The last one is McFarlane. So we've got the Jazwares hand cannon, scoped revolver, regular pistol, revolver, dual pistols, suppressed pistol, and then we've got McFarlane's version of the hand cannon, the 6-shooter, and the flintlock. Here he is holding his pump shotgun. He's able to utilize the trigger area with his fingers, adding a little bit of stability, and then using his left hand to support the barrel and pump in the next bullet. Here he is aiming with his scoped revolver. Once again, his trigger finger goes into the trigger pretty nice, pretty stable there. Here are all the different guns that have been released so far from Jazwares for their Fortnite collection. And here are all the different guns released by both Jazwares and McFarlane, not including the ones that both companies have made. And these are interchangeable between both lines. Here are several different Jazwares figures holding each other's weapons, showing they are interchangeable between the Jazwares figures. And here are a couple of Jazwares figures holding McFarlane weapons, and some McFarlane figures holding Jazwares weapons, showing you they are interchangeable between both lines. Next, let's check out his Shadow Bomb. This is sort of like a grenade type item, but when you would use it, it would sort of make you turn to a shadowy figure. You could move faster, jump higher, and sort of phase through walls. This was available, I want to say, around Season 6 area. Here it is next to some other explosive type items. Even though the Shadow Bomb is not really explosive, it is in grenade looking form. From left to right, we've got the Boogie Bomb, some grenades, the Shadow Bomb, clingers, and some dynamite. Here he is getting ready to throw or use the Shadow Bomb. It actually fits in his hand pretty nicely. You can see his fingers. His trigger finger here fits around the pin pretty nicely. Next, let's look at his Big Potion, Big Pot, 50 Pot, or Big Shield. It's like sort of just a glass little jar full of some liquid you drink, and it gives you 50 shield in the game. On one side here has a little slit in there where his fingers can hold it. Here he is holding it with ease. You're able to slide 4 of his fingers into there. Bottoms up. And then here's his mushroom. Mushrooms in the game are sort of in the forest areas. You can eat them and get 5 shield. Not a lot at one time, but keep eating them. It can definitely add up. This thing's a little bit oversized compared to the figure that it should be in the game. Notice it's got a few different colors on it, and it has a little hole in the back where the thumb can hold the item. Here he is holding the mushroom, get ready to scarf it down. Like I said before, his thumb goes into a little hole there. Is able to hold this thing pretty nicely. Here are all the different heal or shield type items they've released for this line so far. From left to right, bandages, a med kit, a chug jug, a big potion, a mushroom, and a slice of cake. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at his accessories, next let's check out some other accessories or vehicles you can use to enhance your Fortnite collection. Here he is riding in a McFarlane shopping cart, wielding a shotgun, trying to shoot people as being pushed around. And then here he is on the other end, pushing around Raven. Must say these Jazwares figures scale very nicely with his McFarlane shopping cart. Here he is driving the McFarlane Quad Crasher. Scales up pretty nicely. You can see his feet hit the pedals, his butt's on the seat, and his hands can reach the handles. And here he is riding on the backside. One thing that's pretty cool, even the pegs on this McFarlane vehicle fit the peg holes on the Jazwares figure's feet. Next, let's check them out next to some McFarlane glider and launchpad combo sets. So far, this is how they scale up when they're fully attached. Here he is getting ready to jump off the launch pad and glide away. And then yes, he does fit in nicely with the McFarlane glider. As you can see here, he's able to hold onto the harness, scale up nicely with this thing, and glide all around the map. And yes, he does work out with the regular glider as well. Here he is next to a treasure chest. This treasure chest is made from Jazwares, the same company that makes this figure, but is obviously not scaled up for him. It's too large next to him. This is actually intended for the 4-inch figures, which are smaller than him, and you may think to yourself, that doesn't make any sense. If it's too big for him, how could it be for smaller figures? It wasn't exactly meant to be in scale with the figures. It was actually an accessory pack that came with a bunch of weapons and building material on the inside. Since treasure chests are sort of such a large part of the game, I'm happy to have one that's at least close to the right size. Here he is opening up a llama. This is obviously not from Jazwares or McFarlane. It's just a stuffed animal that I found at Walmart. Llamas have sort of become a staple of the game, something that when you see this llama, you immediately think Fortnite. So I'm happy to have one for my figures. Here he is holding a balloon. This came with a previously released Jazwares figure. Here he is with a can of spray paint, getting ready to tag the wall behind him. Here he is healing with a campfire. This campfire came with a NECA Friday the 13th Jason action figure, and I thought it worked out absolutely great with my Fortnite figures. Now that we've taken a very in-depth look at his accessories, as well as some other accessories you can use to enhance this figure, next let's check the height of this figure. From bottom to top, this guy's sitting at about 6¼ inches tall, translating to about 16 centimeters. Next, let's check out this guy's articulation. So, of course, his head here, it's going to go from side to side. It's going to look up, really not too much because of the helmet, down about that much. Shoulders on a ball joint, go out about that far. You can hear it popping into each little segment. There's another bit of plastic between his shoulder and his torso. I believe this is called a butterfly joint. Allows him to kind of go in and out like that as well. Boy, this guy's tight. His bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows below that. Then go all the way in. His wrist can rotate around and it's hinged as well. Then he also has finger articulation to hold his weapons. He has a ball joint here in his sort of torso ab area. Can allow him to rotate a little bit from side to side, but he can also go in and out a little bit as well. Give you a little range of motion there. He's got a traditional waist swivel below that. His legs go out just about 90 degrees, not quite. There's a ball joint inside of there. Then go forward, about that far, not quite 90 degrees. And back, really not very much at all. He's got a thigh cut below that. Double jointed knees below that. They go all the way back. He's got a shin cut where his boot and armor is. His feet go up and down. They can kind of rock and rotate. And then he also has toe articulation. And then here's a little inside joke between Dee and myself. I know him in real life, but I've never been to his house before. But just from playing with him a ton, I kind of know what his setup would be like. Here he is in his Rust Lord costume, sitting in his recliner, playing on his PS4. Always got his drink nearby. I know he is Budweiser. He always pours it into a frosted mug. Then he's got a green bottle of Jameson there as well. Oh, and here comes his wife to join us with some squads. And here would be a representation of myself, D Hunter. I use the Omega skin a lot and like the rocket launcher. And a couple of my buddies, Delta Llama, who's an expert sniper. He also has his own YouTube channel called Delta Llama. You might want to check it out. He has some really cool Fortnite videos on there. And then we've got Dee there with a tac shotgun. Next, let's check this guy out compared to some of their action figures, starting off with some of their Fortnite figures. Here he is with the most recently released Jazwares Fortnite figures. From left to right, we've got Valkyrie, the Black and White Skull Trooper, Rust Lord, Peely, Raven, and the Molten Battlehound. Here he is next to the entire collection of Jazwares Fortnite figures. And here he is next to the entire McFarlane Fortnite collection. And here are all the different Fortnite figures that I got multiples of. You may ask, why so many? I got one of each of the different wild cards, different faceplates, so I can have the Royal Flush Gang for my DC action figure world. I got 4 of each of the Skull Troopers for Scarecrow Henchmen in my Batman world. 2 Crack Shots for Toyman Henchmen. 4 Rabbit Raiders and 4 Night Hares for Mad Hatter Henchmen. I find the Jazwares figures works pretty good from Mattel, DC Universe Classics, and Multiverse figures to enhance them. And the McFarlane figures work pretty good for DC Direct and DC Collectibles. And here he is in a huge battle royale with all my Fortnite figures. As you can see here, they're all shooting each other, driving, healing, gliding, sniping, getting loot, throwing and shooting explosives at each other. Everyone trying to see who can get the most kills, and more importantly, who is going to get the win. Next, let's check this guy out compared with some of their action figure lines to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise. Here he is next to 4 different action figure lines from DST or Diamond Select Toys. Here he is next to some McFarlane Toys action figures. Here he is next to some NECA figures. Here he is next to some Mattel wrestling figures. Here he is next to some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods action figures. And here he is next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here he is next to some Mafex action figures. Then next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And then here he is next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. So overall, I must say I like this figure quite a bit. He's probably my second favorite one of the wave. Valkyrie would probably be my favorite. If I were to rate this guy, I'd probably give him a 7.5 out of 10. If I actually had the skin, I might appreciate a little more and give it an 8 out of 10. This is an old school skin. I like it. It's been around for a long time. I got a buddy of mine that uses it regularly, so I'm very familiar with the skin. So overall, it's a good figure, and I'm definitely happy with it. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it in the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.